Introduction to VLOOKUP. If you're working with Excel regularly, there's a good chance someone already mentioned VLOOKUP to you. It's one of those functions that sounds more complicated than it really is, but once you understand how it works, it becomes an absolute go-to. Think of it as asking Excel to find a specific value in a list and return something related to it. Whether you're matching names with IDs or syncing data between spreadsheets, VLOOKUP is like your personal Excel assistant. When I first learned it, I used it to link customer names to their IDs, and it blew my mind how fast Excel could pull results from a big table. Once you get comfortable, it almost feels like a superpower. VLOOKUP is vertical, hence the V, and it works best when your data is set up in neat columns. It's not the newest tool in the shed anymore, but it still holds up for quick, straightforward tasks. How VLOOKUP works. VLOOKUP is like a vending machine. You give it a code, your lookup value, and it hands you back the snack, the data you want, from a specific spot in the column. You feed it 4 ingredients: the value you're searching for, the table to search in, the column number that holds your answer, and whether you want an exact or close match. If you get these parts right, you'll get exactly what you're looking for. One thing that trips people up is that VLOOKUP can only look to the right, so your lookup value needs to be in the first leftmost column of your table. If the info you want is to the left, you're out of luck unless you rearrange your data. That's one of the limitations that newer functions like XLOOKUP fix. But VLOOKUP still has its place for simple lookups when your data is tidy. Data preparation for VLOOKUP. Before you even touch the VLOOKUP formula, your data needs a little grooming. First off, the value you want to look up, like an ID or product name, has to be in the first column of your table. That's just how VLOOKUP rolls. Also, it's super helpful if the data is sorted in ascending order, especially if you're doing an approximate match. Sorting just makes everything cleaner and more accurate. Another best practice: turn your data into an official Excel table. Hit Ctrl-T, check the box for headers, and boom, you've got yourself a smart table. This makes VLOOKUP more reliable because you add more rows later. Excel keeps track of the whole range for you. It's like giving VLOOKUP a map that updates itself, saves you from errors and manual headaches down the road. Exact match example. Let's say you want to find out who customer number 4 is. You pop that ID into the cell, use VLOOKUP, and bam, Excel gives you Wholesome Foods or whoever it is. The trick is to make sure you tell VLOOKUP to find an exact match by using false as your last argument. Otherwise, Excel might give you something close, which can be totally wrong. Now, sometimes you'll type an ID that doesn't exist and get a scary NA error. That's where if error comes in. It's like a friendly bouncer that intercepts ugly errors and replaces them with a nice message like not found. It's a little extra work, but it makes your spreadsheets look polished and professional, even if the data is missing. Closest match example. Exact matches are great, but what if your lookup value doesn't perfectly match anything? That's where closest match comes into play. Maybe you're offering cookie bonuses based on order size. Buy 100, get 5 free. Buy 200, get 10 free, and so on. If someone orders 110 cookies, there's no exact match in your table, but VLOOKUP can find the next closest value without going over. In this case, 100. VLOOKUP across sheets. Now here's where things get a little cooler. VLOOKUP isn't limited to just one worksheet. You can actually pull data from another sheet entirely. Maybe your cookie orders are on one tab and your bonus chart is on another. No problem. When you select your table _ array in the formula, just click into the other sheet and highlight the range. Excel will handle the cross-sheet connection. It's basically the same formula, just with an extra step. Once it's in place, you can pull in info from anywhere in your workbook. It's a big time saver when you're working with organized data on different tabs. Just don't forget to make those ranges absolute references if you're planning to drag the formula around. HLOOKUP. So we've talked vertical, now let's flip it to horizontal. HLOOKUP does what VLOOKUP does, but across rows instead of down columns. It's less common because people usually stack their data in columns, but in some cases, like monthly sales across a row, HLOOKUP makes sense. The formula works just the same, except you specify a row index number instead of a column. One annoying part, you can't easily turn horizontal data into a table like you can with vertical lists. So you'll have to manually lock your ranges using the F4 key. It's a bit of a hassle, which is one reason most people stick with vertical setups, or just move on to XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP overview. Welcome to the future. XLOOKUP is here and it's awesome. It takes all the best parts of VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, fixes their annoying quirks, and adds a ton of flexibility. You don't need to rearrange columns, worry about match types, or switch between functions. XLOOKUP handles both vertical and horizontal lookups in one formula. And that's not all. XLOOKUP also lets you return custom messages when data is missing, search from bottom to top, and even bring back multiple values at once. It's like the Swiss Army knife of Excel functions. Once you start using it, there's honestly very little reason to go back to VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP, unless you're maintaining old spreadsheets. XLOOKUP benefits. The first thing you'll notice is the if not found feature. No need to wrap your formula in if error. You just tack on a friendly message like not found directly in the formula. Also, unlike VLOOKUP, your lookup value doesn't have to be in the first column. You can search left, right, wherever, and XLOOKUP handles it like a champ. Another big perk is the ability to return multiple columns in one go. Instead of writing a separate formula for revenue and cost, for example, XLOOKUP can fetch both at once. It's like going to the drive-thru and getting your entire combo meal with one order. Less work, cleaner spreadsheets. XLOOKUP features. XLOOKUP gets even better with wildcard matches and reverse searches. Want to find the first name that starts with W? Use match_mode equals 2 and a wildcard like W. Excel will grab the first result that fits. Super handy when you're not exactly sure what you're looking for, but know part of it. Need to find the last order from a customer? Use search_mode equals -1, and Excel will start from the bottom and work its way up. This is great for finding latest entries, last transaction, or the most recent login. It gives you way more control over how Excel searches your data, something VLOOKUP could never do. Final thoughts. By now, it's pretty clear that XLOOKUP is the real MVP. It replaces both VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP and adds way more functionality. It's flexible, intuitive, and saves you from all the little frustrations that used to come with traditional lookup formulas. If you're new to Excel, you might still start with VLOOKUP because it's simpler and more widely used. But as your skills grow, switching to XLOOKUP is a no-brainer. It'll make your life easier, your spreadsheets cleaner, and your formulas more powerful. Once you go XLOOKUP, there's really no going back.